Want to forgive? Here's 3 powerful steps to actually succeed in forgiving. Let's start with what most people do, and then we'll move on to what actually works, and then you get to have what most people don't. Peace. I've done other videos here on the channel about forgiveness. It's important to start with an understanding of what forgiveness isn't, because that's not what we're trying to accomplish. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was okay, because a lot of times it's not okay. It's not letting someone off of the hook for their misdeeds. I don't think you have that kind of authority. It's not allowing yourself to continue to be mistreated. These are the things that forgiveness is not. And when you wrap your head around that, we can get a little more clear about what it actually is. Now, I promised that I would share with you first what most people do. And what most people do is they form a grievance instead of forgiveness. Let's set that up as an opposite to what we're talking about as we define forgiveness. So I'm going to give you 3 powerful steps that will allow you to form a grievance. I mean, a really good grudge that you can hold and it will fester and boil inside of you and destroy your psychology over time. Sound good? Okay, here's how you form a grievance. Step number 1, get hurt. Check and done. Because life happens. And as life unfolds, you're going to be hurt from time to time. Sometimes you'll be hurt by the poor choices of other people. And that's an essential element in forming a grievance. Step number 2, blame someone for how you feel. And this is easy because you know exactly who to blame, don't you? Whoever it was that hurt you gets to be the target. And you have to do this if you're going to form a good grievance that's going to destroy your psychology. Then step number 3 for forming a really good grievance, you have to create and retell and enroll people in a victim story. This is the story where you show up as the pitiful victim in this tragic tale of how you were so severely mistreated. This is important. If you want to have a good grievance, you gotta have a good victim story. And then go post it on social media and see if you can get people enrolled in this thing to see you as the victim. Okay, how's all that feeling? Ew, right? Does this make your teeth itch a little bit? Because who wants to have a grievance? Grievances are what create long-standing conflicts. They have us doing things that we regret later, and they have us treating each other terribly. But if you want to have a good grievance, that's how you're going to do it. Are you still here? Are you still with me? Great, because we're going to get into the good stuff. Before I get to the forgiveness aspect, take a moment to subscribe. Hit that button right down there so that you won't miss any of the content that's coming your way to help to power up your positivity. I only shared that grievance information with you to set up a contrast. And by the way, it's a totally legitimate option. If you want to form a grievance, that's how you do it. Get hurt, blame someone for how you feel, and create a really good victim story that you can start to sell. What if we want to experience the peace that comes with forgiveness? I'll give you 3 steps for that as well. Step number 1, turn your brain on. Now, your brain is always on. If it were off, you'd be dead. But there's a specific part of your brain that I'm referring to. See, different parts of your brain do different things. And your brain has a couple of jobs: to keep you safe and to prove you right. This is what it's going to do on autopilot unless you steer it a different direction. The keep you safe part of your brain, we refer to this as the limbic system. It's a family of structures inside of your brain that have the main job of keeping you safe. And it's this part of your brain that kicks you into what we call the fight or flight response. Anytime there's a threat. When someone hurts you, that shows up as a threat to your brain, specifically your limbic system. Your limbic system then sends a signal through different glands of your body to produce chemicals that help to prepare your body to do one of two things, fight or flight. When we get into fight or flight mode, we're more likely to go form a grievance. So in step 1 of forgiveness, turn your brain on. I mean the part of your brain that's in charge of empathy and compassion and logic and reason. This is a whole different part of your brain. Structurally, it's located up here near the front, kind of behind your forehead. That part of your brain is the part that we need to get past the fight or flight response of the limbic system, the lower brain. I usually recommend practices like meditation. Exercise is a great way to do it. Breathing is actually one of the fastest ways to get your limbic system in your brain to calm down and reactivate the prefrontal cortex that's going to help you do some good thinking about all of this. Step 1, turn your brain on. Step 2 is a little harder. Take full responsibility for how you feel. Notice I am not saying here that you take full responsibility for the infraction or the incident that caused the hurt in the first place. It may not have anything to do with you. It may have happened completely outside of your control, or it was completely unexpected. What I'm saying to take responsibility for is your own feelings. This is one of the primary principles of positive psychology. It's not our circumstances that cause our feelings, but our brain makes that error all the time, asking, why do I feel how I feel? Well, duh, look at what's happening to me. And we blame how we feel on our circumstances, or, as we talked about with the grievance, on other people who may have hurt us. To take full responsibility for how you feel requires an understanding of where those feelings come from in the first place. Your feelings are caused by your thoughts. Now you might hear a little argument popping up in your head about, well, it really did happen. I know. But even though it really happened, what's causing your feelings about it is the story that your own brain creates about it. Taking full responsibility for your feelings does not let anybody else off the hook for their misdeeds. What it does is it puts you back in position to choose what you think. And what you think is always within your realm of control and choice. That's what it means to take full responsibility for how you feel. I said this is not an easy one. And I have personally hired coaches in my life to help me control this. And you can do the same thing. Trying to handle it inside of your own head, kind of like being inside of a bottle. If you're trapped inside of a bottle, if you can picture this, and there's instructions for getting out of your bottle, but they're printed on the label on the outside of the bottle. Sometimes we need someone to read those instructions to us. So get whatever help you need to take full responsibility for how you feel. That's step 2. Step 3 is going to mirror what we talked about in the grievance section. You're going to create a hero story. This is a whole different story in which you show up as the inspiring, amazing hero that you are. Think about this for a minute. A hero story. Maybe it's a movie. Maybe it's a book. A hero story always has villains, right? Yes. Why are the villains there? To illuminate the hero. The bigger the villain, the bigger the hero. And if there's no villain, we can't even identify the heroes. We're going to change the story up. You don't get to be a pitiful victim in this story. You're the amazing hero that, despite all of the adversity and the opposition, rises to the occasion. And you do, don't you? Forgiveness is all about putting yourself in the hero role. We stop blaming circumstances or people outside of us for how we feel. Taking full responsibility and then creating that hero story, which will serve you well moving forward. As you get better at forgiveness, you get to experience more peace in your life. I hope that you found this video helpful in doing just that. I also have a gift for you. I would love to give you a free copy of my book, Pathological Positivity. All you have to do is go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/free book, and I will get you a free copy of this book. You just pay for the shipping and I will send it out to you immediately. drpauljenkins.com/free book. Enjoy and let me know what you think after you get it.